It is Hot 963, Indy's #1 station for the hip hop and R&B. Your man B Swift, and I'm here with a guy that I can actually say I love his music. And I say this because I'm not a big great gospel fan. You feel me? And I'm part of the millennials, and sometimes you get tired of the choirs and da da da. You feel me? But your music is a lot different. I don't just get I'm going to church. You know what I mean? I get life with this music. Lecrae, what's poppin'?
What's happening, man? It's good to be here, man.
I'm glad you're here. I know, I want to say it was last year, Halloween, you came to town and it was sold out. I couldn't get in the show.
Man, I apologize, man. That's just the Naptown love, man. It's just getting love out here, man. So I don't know what to say about it.
Man, the city loves you, the world loves you because you're something different, you know?
Yeah, man. I'm grateful, man. I'm glad to just be shaking things up a little bit and just trying to, break down some barriers, some boundaries, and break some boxes.
Now let's talk, because you're not the typical gospel guy.
No, I'm not at all. Actually, a lot of people wonder about that.
Yeah, you're very different, and I get that when I get this new single, Blessings.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lecrae and Ty Dolla, how did this studio session work? Like, like, how did you come up and say, yo, I gotta put Ty on this record? I know Ty's a fit. I don't care about the albums. I don't care about the smoke. I want Ty.
Yeah, I mean, see, I think a lot of people, when you serious about your faith, they put you in this kind of box of what the way they think you should be. And I've never tried to be a gospel artist. I just been trying to be real about what I believe and just be the best artist I could be.
Right.
And the way I describe it is, I'm like, man, if you've been a fan of me, I'm righteous and ratchet. Like, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I think a lot of us are. You need that kind of mix. It's like Chex Mix. You know what I'm saying? You just need that mix up. And I felt like Ty was a good compliment to that because he represents, a real segment of people out there. You know what I'm saying? Who connect, and that's who I connect with. And man, it just, we was both fans of each other's music, and it turned out with a great song.
Now, with you being righteous and ratchet, I'm sure you see a lot of flack from the old heads, as I call them.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
I mean, I just look at it like I gotta be myself at the end of the day. I can't, I always say if you live for people's acceptance, you're gonna die from their rejection.
Most definitely.
And so I gotta be who I was made to be. And I don't know what race they've been called to run. Maybe that's your race, but like for me, I have to be authentic to myself. And like when I think of like I didn't grow up in church or whatever, but like when I really had a spiritual transition, like Lauryn Hill's album was like my first like gospel album. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's what I always wanted to give back to the culture. Is like, man, let me give people something that they can connect with on a real level, like how I feel, and that's really how I'm like, hey, old heads, man, I'm no disrespect, but this is just where I'm at.
Now, I'm sure you see a huge fan base between the ages, and not to knock anybody, but that under 25 fan base who's not the typical churchgoer.
Yeah.
That just loves you because you speak straight to them, and you know what I mean? Like, how does that make you feel? Because we don't get that. Don't get me wrong. Kurt was that for me. Kurt when Stomp and all of this came out, I'm like, yo, this isn't the usual gospel joint. It's something different.
Right.
And that's what I look at when I get you, when I get Molly Music and all, How does that make you feel when you see the youngsters take that word and really believe it and hear it and reciprocate it?
I love it, man. Like I was walking down the street one day and the dude was, it was in California, and the dude was enjoying his legal product.
His medicine.
His medicine. And he was like, oh, snap, Lecrae, what's up, man? Like, I'm listening to you right now. And I thought that was dope because it says, like, man, my music can go anywhere and go everywhere. And that's where I want it to be. Because you're supposed to be a hospital, not like a exclusive country club. You know what I'm saying? And so if a hospital let anybody in who sick, hurt, who needs some help, country club's like, nah, you got to put on the right clothes, you got to dress up, you got to have yourself together before you can come in here. And that ain't how I rock. And I wouldn't be where I'm at if people treated me like that. And so, man, I'm just trying to, make music for everybody.
Now, let's go back to something you said a few minutes ago. Lauryn Hill's album was your first gospel album.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like there's people like me who, didn't grow up listening to gospel music or nothing like I don't have that experience. So no disrespect to the genre of gospel, but I can't sit here and name you a whole bunch of gospel albums because I just didn't grow up listening to it. But like when I first album that spoke to me on a spiritual level like was Lauryn Hill's album, because I was not gonna go out and go buy a Fred Hammond or
Mississippi
album.
Mass Choir.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna buy that.
Real, that's real.
But I bought Lauryn Hill, and it was like, oh man, this is speaking to me in a deeper way than anything else was, and so that's what I wanted to create. That's what and hopefully it'll become normal. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when Outkast first came out, everybody was kind of like, like, oh, that's dirty South rap, and they was like, man, the South got something to say, and now it ain't dirty South rap. They like staples in hip hop, period. They just made room for that. And I feel like now it's kind of like Kanye had to wear pink polos for dudes and feel like, oh, I don't got to be gangster. And now it's like you got Kendrick and Chance talking about their faith, talking about God. And it's just the doors opening up for us to be ourselves. And, man, if you love God, why you can't talk about it in your music? And why you can't rap about it? Why does it have to be played on this station or that station? If it's just good music, then everybody needs to experience it.
Most definitely. Speaking of Chance, I want to ask you this because I know you were at the Grammys. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How did it feel to see Chance jump up there and say what he said when he won that award and showing love to you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, it's got to get to a place where that's not strange no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was wigged out by Beyonce singing "When Jesus Say Yes." When nobody can say no, because everybody know gospel and R&B like been cousins.
Hand in hand.
But it's like we gotta get to a place where it's not weird for rap and hip hop to like have a spiritual side. You know what I mean? Like we way more complex than just Molly's in the club. Like we deeper and more complex than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when people getting shot in the street, we need to hear songs about how we feel about that. When people feeling depressed and down, we need to hear songs. When people feeling blessed, we need to hear them songs. You know what I'm saying? It's just let's make sure people get a right understanding of who we are, and that's what I loved about Chance.
No, that's dope. Now I got a few more questions before I get you out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna dig in and see what your response is, because when I seen this, I was like, huh? Now me, I don't like visiting this place, but I read that when you're down, you like to visit the cemetery.
Okay.
I had to go pick a Pokemon from the cemetery, and I got out of there so fast, bruh.
So first of all, it ain't at nighttime.
Okay.
Number one, let's paint the picture right. It's not at nighttime, and it's not visit cemeteries. It's a cemetery that I will go to in Atlanta, and I just went because on accident one day I was trying to take a shortcut, and it's got a walking trail and everything. So I walked through there, and it hit me like, man, all these people like was chasing a dream or had goals or families, and like, you know what I'm saying, like this all came to an end. So it just reminds me like this gonna end one day. So live every day with purpose and with passion, because you may not get it again.
Okay.
And so that's why it reminds me of that.
No, that's dope. That's real, because like you say, we on limited time anyway.
Right.
So enjoy what's going on and enjoy what we have right now.
Yeah, man.
Next question. This has happened to me not this many times. How in the hell did you get pulled over by 6 times in one day?
Listen. Yep, man. So it's really crazy. So what happened was I'm in East Texas, which is notorious. Notorious for we don't.
They pull tour buses over and everything.
It's bad. So I get pulled over the first time, and they like, oh, you got a frame on your license plate, and I'm like, for real? Okay. So then he wrote me a warning like you can't have a frame on your license plate. So then I get pulled over again. He like, you got a frame on your license plate. I said, did y'all just call ahead and tell him to do this? Then I get pulled over again. You got a frame on your license plate. So I'm like, yo, this is wild. So I get out, I take the frame off. You know what I'm saying? I keep rolling. I get pulled over again. And then I'm like, yo, man, what's going on? Like, your license plate ain't lit up. You need a light on the thing. And it was just kind of like over and over again. So finally I got so mad that I was like, when he pulled me over, I got so mad. I showed him my little warning. I was like, look, man, y'all playing with me, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a little heated.
Right.
And I'm like, y'all playing, man. This ain't cool, man. Y'all keep pulling me over. Blah, blah. And I guess they took that as like, oh, okay, buddy, you want to get an attitude. We got something for you. So it felt like, man, I couldn't get every 10 miles. It was like somebody going to pull me over. And I was like, yo, this is the most ridiculous situation I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know how I would have responded, and I probably would have ended up in jail, and I'm glad you didn't.
East Texas, I knew better than the life. I was like, you might not come back alive from this one, so you might want to fall back.
What's left for you to accomplish in this game? You've done a lot. You've hit #1 on billboards. You've walked away with Grammys.
Yeah.
What's left?
It's the culture, man. It's the culture. It's kicking down doors for the culture. It's for what I do to become normal. You know what I'm saying? For it to not be this novelty thing. It's for like to become part of the fabric of urban music, or music period. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so it's not weird. It's not like you gotta have. It's like Prince. It's like Prince is Prince.
Right.
Like I don't. Is it rock, R&B, funk, pop? I don't. But it's Prince, and I'm not saying I want Lecrae to be Lecrae, but I want there to be room for people like me to just be themselves, and you have that freedom, and nobody's trying to second guess you, and they not like, why you don't do this or why do you do that? It's like, man, let the music live.
That's real.
Yeah.
Do we get a tour this year? Or are you chilling?
Man, I gotta come back. Yeah, as soon as the album drop, I'm out. I'm on the bus. We getting it. You know what I'm saying?
Do we get a projected date?
The album's coming this summer.
Okay.
So, when the album drop, we're gonna let it marinate for a little while when we get on the road. And I gotta come back to the nap.
You gotta come back. I'm telling you, the way that show sold out last time, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
the tickets just went on sale. Where'd they go?
Man, it was so much love. I'm appreciative, man. I'm grateful. So hopefully we'll come back and get it popping again.
Well, our doors is always open. We love for you to pull up in Naptown. As you know, we're playing Blessings. It's a great record. It's getting great response, from the youngsters and the old heads. Like, I'm glad to hear this on the radio.
Yeah.
It's always something with a positive message. And I think they love it for that.
Yeah.
The kids love it. The adults love it. So anytime you hear, man, please pull up, hang out with us. The doors is here for you.
It's done.
Naptown, your man B Swift, Lecrae with me. It is Hot 963.